Alright, John Oaks here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. And today our newest addition to our inventory is this very nice 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle SS style vehicle right here. So as you see, we've got the orange exterior here. We do have the black stripes up over the hood and over the deck lid on the back of the car. Paint is smooth and shiny on this car. And as far as panel fitment, as I look down the side here, it looks really good down the side, pretty straight. Door gaps, as you can see back here, we can tell that our door gaps on the front side as well as on the back side are very uniform, pretty much the same front and back. So you can tell the door's been adjusted in that opening and fitted up really nice here on this car. As far as our front fenders go up here, we've got just your bright wheel lip moldings here, along with the bright drip rail moldings for all of your trim work. You also have all the bright work around the windows and so forth, and that's all in good shape there too. Now this car has the factory steel rally wheels on it. These are 15-inch wheels, and on all four corners we've got Futura GLS Super Sport tires, and these are two 55/60 R15s on this car. Wheels are in excellent condition on here. They've got the bright work around the edges of them. Those look really nice. And the center caps all intact, and they look really great on this car. Now, as I mentioned, it's an SS style vehicle. So we've got a lot of the styling cues that a regular SS Chevelle would have. For instance, we have the SS emblems here on the back side of the front fender, which are in excellent shape. There's no pitting on the chrome on these, and the paint is in very nice shape there on those SS emblems. We also have both driver and passenger side mirrors. These are chrome mirrors. The finish on these is excellent too. There's no pitting or anything on those. So again, they're polished up nice. They look really good. I've already mentioned the drip rail moldings. They're in great shape. They're nice and straight, polished up real nice. And as I look down the rain gutter here of the car, I can tell you I don't see any cracks in there. A lot of times you will, but on this particular car, I don't see any of the like of that. So again, that's been finished up nice. Hasn't shrunk and caused any cracks in there either. So again, that's all nicely done. As we come back here, let's open the door up real quickly here. Again, we're going to go inside here a little later here in our video. But you can see our orange exterior paint continues its way to the inside of the car here. We've got the rubber bump stops on both the top and the bottom of our door, and our weather stripping and seals around the door are in excellent shape. There's no chunks taken out of these. There's no rips or tears in them. They look really nice. As far as just an overall of the interior, really nice interior. It's all black vinyl. Got the bucket seats up front here with the headrests in them. Factory dash and instrumentation. Just a few extra little gauges in there that we'll discuss once we get in there. Factory center console, so everything's in really nice condition there. So we'll go ahead and close this. You can see it closes nice and easy. Good solid thud. Don't have to really put any kind of weight in behind it to get it to shut. It closes pretty much on its own. As we come back here to the quarter panel, obviously we can see how nice and straight the quarters are on this car. Again, the bright wheel lip moldings, the 15-inch factory steel rally wheels, and those Futura GLS Super Sport tires there. Alright, now that we're here around the back side of our 72 Chevelle here, we'll go ahead and take a look at everything we can see back here, starting with our rear glass here. So the rear glass, slightly tinted. We have no cracks or chips in this windshield whatsoever. Also, our molding around here, the bright work, that's in really good shape too. Nice and straight, polished up really nice, looks really good, and it's fitted in here really nicely too. Now as far as our trunk lid, you can see the gaps here around our trunk lid on both sides, as well as along the back side here of our trunk lid are all uniform. They're pretty much the same side to side and even across the back. You notice we've got the black stripes down over the back of the car here. Now these stripes are painted on and then cleared over top. You can feel those in here, and they're done very nicely here. So you can tell that they did take a little bit of time in doing those. As far as the rear bumper, you can see how nice the chrome is on here. Got the SS emblem back here on the rear bumper, and then down below here, down below our lower valance, you can see it does have the dual exhaust, dual tailpipes on here, and they finished them off with a set of nice chrome exhaust tips on that car. We're going to go ahead and open our trunk up now, take a peek inside here. So first, on the inside of our trunk, painted the same color as the exterior of our car, that nice orange paint here. Nice and smooth and shiny underneath here too. They've got the hinges painted black to kind of set those off a little bit. Now you can see here along the edges of your trunk, everything looks in great shape. There's no rough spots, nice and smooth and shiny in those jams there. And then of course we have our weather stripping the whole way around the trunk here. It meets right in the center here, butts right up against itself. Looks to be all new weather stripping back here. There's no chunks or anything out of it. And again, it's nice and soft, so we should be able to seal up really good from the outside elements. Trunk lid also has the rubber bump stops both on the corners here, so that when you shut that, it's going to rest on those and cause a real nice tight, fit back here for your trunk. Now, as far as the interior of the trunk goes, real nice condition of the inside trunk here. The floors, all one piece, good and solid, painted up the white and gray spatter paint back here for the trunk. It's also got a real nice trunk mat in it here. Looks to be fairly new, if not brand new. And then we have a set of floor mats here in case you want to put those in the car too. If you end up purchasing this vehicle, you've got them here that they're in good shape and you can use those. So we're going to close up our trunk now. You can see again it fits real nice, the gaps are good, again it fits nice and solid. Alright, now on the passenger side of our Chevelle here, I'm going to look up from the rear quarter panel all the way up across the door and to the front fender, and on this side everything is in alignment very, very well on this particular car here. Our quarter panel to door elevations, those are dead on, and our door to front fender elevation, once again dead on as I look on this car the whole way up the side. Finish on this car, nice smooth shiny paint. Sail panels are in nice shape. Again, we've got the wheel lip moldings and the drip rail moldings both polished up really nice. And again, on this side here, as I look down the rain gutter of this side, I can tell you also there's no cracks in here to speak of either. So again, everything's been done nicely on this car. Now our gaps on this side, very uniform once again, back side as well as the front side. So again, the door's been fitted really nice. Open up our door, again, paint continues on the inside of the door here. Rubber bump stops on top and bottom, and our weather stripping here on the door is in good shape. Again, just an overall of the interior real quick. Door panels are in great shape. Carpeting's in good shape. Seat upholstery, again, no signs of any tears or cracks or anything in the upholstery. So again, all of that stuff is really nice for this car. We'll close this up as we continue to talk about the finish of our car here. Again, mirrors both sides. The finish on these, really nice, polished up, no pitting on the chrome whatsoever. As we come up here to our front fender, again we have the SS emblems here on the back side of the front fender. Again, our wheel lip moldings, the 15-inch factory steel wheels. Okay, finally now made it the whole way around to the front of our 72 Chevelle here. So as you can see, again, as I said, we have an SS styled Chevelle here. So you see the SS emblems here on the grill, the blacked out grill here. We've got that steel 2-inch cowl induction hood here, which the SS's would have had. Now this does not doesn't have the flapper on it, of course, but it is a steel 2-inch cowl. It's actually fitted up really nice here. Your gaps on the sides here, all the way around it, look really good. Again, you've got these black stripes here that's been cleared over top of, so that all looks really nice too. Our headlights, traditional sealed beam units here. So your highs and your low beams are all contained in one unit here. And you can see how nice these headlight bezels are too. Nice and shiny and polished up. They look great. Even your parking or your marker lights here, the lenses in those, the plastic lenses, those are in very good shape. There's no cracks in either one of them, and they're nice and clear looking too. We've got the chrome bumper. Of course, the finish on that is very nice and shiny, polished up very well. and all the trim work around here too. The bright work that goes around the top as well as the bottom of the grill here. Even your marker light bezels here too. Those are in all excellent shape, polished up, and no pitting that I can see anywhere on this car to really speak of. So what we'll do now is we're going to go ahead and open our hood up. Opens up real easy there. And of course, all steel. You can see the inner steel structure here, all painted up orange, the same as the color of the outside of the car. We've got all the hood insulation in here intact. Looks to be all new too, as a matter of fact. There's no tears or rips in any of that. Nothing hanging down, so it's all up in there where it should be. The hinges on the hood work out great too. It lifts up real nice and easy for you, even though it's a big hood. It's very effortless to lift it up. And as far as what we have inside here now, again, this is a non-original motor. It's a 350 cubic inch small block Chevy. Upon running the numbers of this, we find out that it's a 1970 350 cubic inch small block Chevy motor. Now, bolted on this, as far as add-on parts and so forth, we've got the black Chevrolet air cleaner here that you can see, along with the matching black Chevrolet valve covers. Valve covers all have the breather and the PCV valve in them. And as far as underneath the air cleaner, we have a real nice carburetor here. It's a Quick Fuel Technologies carburetor. It's a 650. I believe it's the SS650 carb. It's an electric choke, mechanical secondaries on that. So again, real nice carburetor. We've got an Edelbrock Performer RPM aluminum intake on here too. So again, that's going to help out a little bit with the performance, delivering the fuel a lot better. Ignition system, been upgraded on this car to an HEI ignition system. So you've got the HEI distributor. You have a set of MSD 8.5 millimeter superconductor wires to deliver a lot better spark to this motor too. We've got long tube headers, dual exhaust, dual mufflers, and the tailpipes to help it breathe a lot better there too. So again, it's going to give you a lot better performance out of that motor with just a few of those bolt-on accessories there. We also have power brakes. This was disc brake up front, drum in the rear. We've got power steering on this vehicle as well. Now, as far as a radiator goes, they've upgraded this radiator. We have an aluminum radiator in here, dual electric fans in here also. So it eliminates the fan off the front of the motor, so it frees up just a little, you know, an extra horsepower or two there probably. Looks like a brand new alternator on there, or fairly new. Still has, you know, the all the original stuff on it as far as that. Mechanical fuel pump, so the fuel systems remain the same on it, all stock. And that's really it. So again, you've got the 350 cubic inch motor here. You've got a turbo 350 automatic transmission and a 12-bolt rear end in this car. So the driveline is going to be very solid on this car for you and last you a long time. So with that said, we're going to close this up. All right, now that we're inside our 72 Chevelle, we'll obviously take a look at the interior that we see here. Starting out at the door panels there, you can see nice black door panels there, full-length door panels. All of the bright work or trim that's on those door panels looks to be in really good shape. Even the armrests, you don't see any cracks in those from any kind of, you know, excessive wear or anything like that. They look good, anchored down the way they should be with all the necessary hardware, so they look good. As we continue inside the car, we'll go to our dash next. Now this is probably the original dash for this car. The actual dash top here, dash pad, not in bad condition, but it is showing a little bit of its wear, a little bit of its age there. It's got one crack right here in the center. Again, not real uncommon. These vinyl dashes, whenever the sun beat on them for any period of time, it put their toll on them, and you would get a crack in them every now and again. So they do make these though. You can get them. They're pretty easy to exchange out. So that shouldn't be a big problem for anybody there wanting to get into a car like this. As far as the dash itself, the gauges, the instrument panel, this is all factory stuff here that we're looking at. We've got the 120 mile an hour long sweep speedo in here, fuel gauge up there in the factory location also. We've got factory heater controls here too. And then down below that, as far as stereo goes, this has been upgraded. We've got, it looks to be a custom auto sound AM FM digital radio. Again, those are nice units. You don't have to modify the dash. They fit right in the stock hole, stock location, and they give you a lot better, you know, as far as sound and performance for your radio. Much better unit than what the stock units would be. Now this car does have a couple extra aftermarket gauges. It looks like the previous owner went through Jegs, got themselves a nice little tandem set of gauges here, one being an oil pressure gauge and the other being the water temperature gauge. Again, the factory gauges in this car, first of all, you didn't even have those gauges. You would just have a warning light for them. So they put these in here so you can monitor that a lot closer. Just keep an eye on it so you don't run into any problems out on the road. Steering wheel, we've got a factory SS steering wheel in here. And then as far as the seats go, you can see bucket seats up front with the headrest. We've got matching upholstery in the back seats there. Our headliner itself, it's in very nice condition here as I look at it here. Nice and tightly pulled up here. All the necessary bows in it. It's got all the hardware in it. If you had the seat belts in here to strap up your shoulder harness belt, it's got those provisions in here for that. Then again, we've got the factory automatic center console here with the horseshoe shifter. Now again, the bezel and so forth, bright work around the shifter here. Little marked up here again, showing some of its age, but there's nothing broke out of it or anything like that. It's all intact with that horseshoe shifter there. So carpeting, same thing. It looks to be in excellent shape. I don't see any fading, no tears whatsoever in the carpeting, so that looks good. Our seat upholstery, there's no tears or cracks in it. We do have a set of speakers down in the kick panels, and we've got some speakers up in the package tray as well. And looking back even at, say, like the sail panels and so forth, everything's nice and tight back there and looks really good. So that's really it for the interior now. So now that we got our 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle here up on the lift, we're going to go through the underside here and point out exactly what we have under here for steering, suspension components, exhaust, driveline, all of that stuff. So starting at the front of the car here, obviously we're going to have all the factory stock stamped steel suspension components. So our lower control arms and our upper A-arms are all the factory stock equipment on this car. It does look as though ball joints and so forth have been changed out. They look new. They look to be in really good shape on this car. For suspension also, they have added a sway bar in here. So that's in good shape. All of the bushings for the frame mounts are in great shape, as well as the sway bar end links. These look to be brand new bushings on them, brand new mounting hardware on those too. So those look all very good. As far as steering, we have all the stock steering componentry here. The tie rods here, ball joints, all in excellent shape, all look new. The rubber dust boots that are on all of the ball joints, those are all intact. They're not split or cracked. And it looks as though everything's been maintained very well on here too. You can tell it's been greased on a regular basis. Front braking on this car, disc brakes. It's just factory GM components, so anything you would need to replace on this, brake shoes, calipers, anything like that, you can just go to your local auto parts store anywhere and pick those items up. As far as the drive line goes, continuing front to back here, we've got a small block Chevy motor here in this car. We've got a turbo 350 automatic transmission here, and we also have the flywheel cover on this too, so that's going to help protect from getting any debris in there and possibly chipping a tooth or something off of your flywheel. That should not happen. Also, drive shaft, it's in good shape here. We can see that all the way back. And then we have our GM 12-bolt rear end here in this car. Now, going back up here, we do want to take a look at the floors here. And these floors are in really good shape from what I can see. I don't see any patching. Obviously, there's no holes or anything. I just don't see any replacement panels Everything's been done very, very nice here. It's got the correct steel floor pans in it. You can see all the lines. You can see all of the bracing here on the underside of the floor. It's all in really good condition on this particular vehicle. Again, bracing, your cross member for your transmission here, that's in great shape here too, along with the mount for the tail shaft of the transmission. That is in excellent shape too, and it looks to have fairly new hardware on that as well. I don't see any leaks, no drips or anything, either around the oil pan or around the transmission pan on this car. I do not see any leaks either back here at the rear end of the car either. So again, it's very dry underneath here, very solid. You can see we've got dual exhaust all the way from the long tube headers here, all the way back. It's got the crossover pipe here. Of course, coming back into a set of, looks to be, I don't see a particular name brand on these, but these are like a turbo style muffler that's on this car. And then of course it's got the correct tailpipes that go up over top of the rear end, and then they exit out the rear of the car, and they did go ahead and add on a set of chrome exhaust tips back there just to complete the look of the car back there. As far as rear suspension goes on this car, again, all stock stuff. We've got the lower control arms, upper control arms on this as well. It's your metric 4-link car. That's how these cars came from the factory. We've got a set of air shocks on the back, so you can easily adjust the ride height on the rear of the car by just putting an air hose to those and raising or lowering the rear of the car wherever you want to be there. Brand new fuel tank in this car. It's in excellent condition. Almost got a mirror shine to it here. All the mounting hardware and straps are in excellent condition. Obviously, it's all new stuff. So again, there should be no issues whatsoever with fuel tank. No debris is going to be in that tank because it's all brand new stuff. And then finally, as far as what this car rides on, wheels and tires, we've got 15-inch wheels on this car. Real nice set of wheels that complement the look of the car on the exterior. As far as tires go, we've got all matching Futura GLS Super Sport tires on this car. They are 235/60 R15s up front and 255/60 R15s on the rear. So of course that means we've got 15-inch wheels front and back on this car. The other things I can just point out real quickly here: brake lines, fuel lines. Those are all new. You can see nothing's rusted. All the bends are very nice on them. There's no sharp kinks in anything. Got the rubber insulated mounts on the lines also. So all of that is real good. Got the emergency brake hooked up here also. So again, lines, everything like that. Brake lines, the rubber hoses, all of that stuff is in really good condition on this car. So really nice underside as well as top.